Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Copper Owl, bringing you a minifig scaled Exo-Toa. Well, it's not really minifig scale. It's more, I think it might actually be twice as big. Like an actual minifig scale Exo-Toa would probably be the actual size of those Star Wars mechs with the molded legs. Those are more in. If a build like that is more in scale with the Exo-Toa, it just wouldn't look right. But here we have essentially the closest thing I can make to an Exo-Toa that isn't like a junior set, and just like weird things with scaling. Like technically, my Codsworth right here is actually in scale with a minifigure because of how the bowler hat fits on it. But yeah, so yeah, this is the closest I could get it to scale, as well as keeping the features and some of the play features and all that. And I don't have an actual Exo-Toa. I remember as a kid always wanting the Exo-Toa, but I don't have it. I do have Toa Tahu. So I do have Toa Tahu. As you can see, it's the original one. It's just he's a little worse for wear over the years. He's kind of parts are broken off. I've lost his mask. That thing just disappeared one day. I have no idea what happened. Same thing with my Boba Fett figure. I honestly think my brother probably stole them or something, but gave them to a friend or whatever. But because he would do something like that. But yeah, my Boba Fett and my Tahu mask have gone missing. But I never had the Exo-Toa. So I always wanted it as a kid. I always wanted the Rahi, the big sets, but we never got them. We always got the Toas. All that. So let's get onto it. I tried to be as color correct as possible with oranges, silvers, grays, dark grays, but I just ran out of like parts, and I wanted to get this out as soon as possible because I really wanted you guys to have this build. Let me zoom out a little. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Still disorganized. So, the arms, yeah, they're not the best, but the Exo-Toa had such a big torso, I mean, not big, but wide torso, because it has to hold the Bionicle. So the idea is like these aren't really supposed to move. Somebody's probably going to come up with a better design. Maybe the other kind of cockpit that doesn't have these probably would have been a better choice. And the Toa just sitting there. And let me go get it actually. I don't have it on me. So I have the Darth Maul mech, and you can see it like it's a little smaller. And I always started to cannibalize it for its parts. But the Toa didn't fit right in here because it doesn't close properly. So it doesn't look right. But when you look at the actual set, the Toa more or less kind of like straddles in there. So he's not really standing. I think that one would have looked a little bit better if it was smaller. Like the whole thing that holds them together. And all that. For the claw arm, I couldn't think of a way to make a like a spring thing in this scale. So I just took a bunch of these. These aren't the right color either, but I just took a bunch of these like hinge pieces and these what are they, Ninjago scythe things. These were perfect. I really these really complement the look and all that. I could see like a Toa Gali using these and everything. So it kind of, but of course it causes the arm to move, so it's not really as good. But again, the Exo-Toa didn't really have that good of articulation and all that. And there's some aspects of this. I might change out the bar so it's like this one because how the articulation works. So to give it better range and motion and all that. It's just these pieces are just a little bit of a pain to deal with. And then I did give it a stud shooter for the blaster. Don't have any. Oh, I do have a stud on me. I got the silver one. Oh no, I had to use a tile piece with this one. I forgot. Oh, maybe I could use this. Let's try this. Same dimensions. Oh yeah. So yeah, I got that to work, and I try to keep it as accurate to the original one. So I try to give it these kind of rounded pieces on the side just to create some greebling, but it's not even because, of course, the Lego hasn't invented a bracket piece that just goes on both sides. They need to do that. That'll help out with so many MOCs. Would help out with the legs too. But I did put this stamp piece there to resemble the trigger that the old rocket piece used to fire out of. So I kept that accurate. These are supposed to be silver, but I just ran out. I don't have the slope pieces in silver either, except for the wedge ones. I think they exist. I'm not sure. So take a good look, and of course you could modify this, make it a lot better than what it looks like. The legs, they're not as narrow as they should be, but looking at the Exo-Toa, they do have this type of shape to them, or like the one connector, and then it goes off a little bit. Again, I try to be as accurate as possible. Put a little bit of orange in there. And again, I would have preferred these to be rounded slopes, but again, I don't have that. And again, there's like this, they use these two gray pieces on the side in the original one that I used too. But I built it up and I ran out of dark gray for that piece. But again, if they had a piece that has the bracket on both sides, that would be way better. All that. So I'm showing you like, okay, this is really how it's built. Two of these connectors plus one 1x4 bracket underneath, a inverted slope to give it strength, structural strength. These two slopes, as you can see. I mean, you know what? I should just take it off. That is like the weakest connection. It's just this right here. Because for some reason, Lego won't make freaking like different versions of this connection. It would have been bad, but I hope one day they do just make one where it's like it's the plate, but the connector is dip on the other side. So it's like when you hold it like this, connector is like that, so the ball is coming straight down. We need that. That'll greatly improve, but it needs to be like a 1x2 with the two connectors. That'll greatly improve the MOC building potential. The feet, however, I just wanted it to look more like the original thing. So I ran out of square plates. So I used a round one, but it kind of works because the original used like an orange rounded Technic piece to connect to the leg. So that's why it looks like that. Let me get the light a little bit over here. Let's see. That's why it looks like that. Using these two to connect it into one. Wish I had one in dark gray. And these also were added because, I wish I had them in dark gray, I don't. Because the Technic piece is kind of angled up at the end. And I have this to be the silver piece that would have been put on the figure for its foot. All that. Give you a nice look. Let's see. I need a pointer. That's what I need. This is 1x4, 1x4, ball joint, clip, orange stud, plate, whatever. Slope, inverted slope, and 2 L's. One of these bar plates, and the 2 silver slopes. Now let's get to the arms. So for the arms, let's look at that. I have these 2 brackets there just so I could have structure, keep it all connected, because it was a very weak thing. But I'll show you how I built it. So here we have the ball connector that goes to the socket. We have the bracket, which you can see right there. Bracket. Then I used an orange piece for an orange plate to be the elevating thing, because again it looks like the little orange pieces inside. There's the other ball connector. Then there's orange plate, then black. I use the 1x1 bracket. Then I used, no, I know this is what is this? Yeah, this is a plate, then the bracket, then the inverted slope, and then another plate, and then I connect them with these longer brackets and a plate, and give it this just a structural thing. Then I use this 1 ball joint piece plate with the both ends. I use a bracket to connect these silver grill pieces. And so, and then I make the gun, which you could do it any way you want. Well, I use this blaster and just put a bracket underneath it. So, and then there's also a little bracket right here. So there's these 2 at the bottom, and then these 2 at the top, and they kind of put it together. Let me take it apart. I believe this one's a little bit of a weak connection. Then I just put a plate with a stand piece on top. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not that weak, but when it falls apart, it falls apart. Let's see, yeah. Let's see, where did I drop it? Give me a second, I gotta pause. So yeah, and obviously some of these aren't even the right color. Like this should be gray over here and all that. I'm gonna get to the back in a second. So let me get to this arm. The same build for the bracket. I just oriented it differently. But we got like a V-ball plate, these 2 hinges and 1 more hinge. Then we have these 2 clip pieces along the side of each one, and then they're connected with these slopes. Lightsaber piece, 2 of these Ninjago hooks. Now for the head. Take the toe out. Oh yeah, for the hips, I forgot. I used one of these bricks, these Technic bricks. I used the 2 slopes to wedge them together, but I used this 1x2 plate with the balls on it. And I put that orange one because there's a little bit of a gap between it, and there wasn't like an orange piece in that back in the day. I probably could make it a bit more accurate if I had an orange slope, like, because it was more like a cod piece, but it was the orange piece. So if I could ever get an orange slope, I can make it look more accurate with one of these. I would just use a jumper, then a jumper at the bottom. Get the, you know what? Let me go see if I have an orange slope. Okay, I actually had one. I don't have the right jumper colors, but we're going to fix this right now. Connected by Technic pin. So. Should be dark gray, the bottom one. Yeah, there we go. Fixed it. On the spot. Yeah, because there was like an orange Technic piece there. And it will connect to the Toa right here. All that. So, the head, I tried making it as accurate as possible, but the head is a very complex piece in the original one. So, I kind of got the look. I just feel like it's a bit too big, but you get the idea of what it is. It's supposed to be like a Borak looking thing. And I used this TIE Fighter piece to give it like a little extra detail. The problem is the tubes, I couldn't connect them to the back, though these arms that hold the thing together kind of look like how the tubes originally looked. So, yeah, that's kind of neat. This clip piece just doesn't have enough grip strength. I'm going to replace it. But I put that there to hold the sword and all that. And show you how this is connected. I use these two rounded bar plates, regular plate and a slope to hold them all together. These dark gray battle droid arms. The head, I'm going to take off the top, is oddly connected. It's very fragile, but it's really these two animal teeth pieces connected by these two clips, 1x2 black plate, and this bar plate to make that nozzle thing looking face that they had. Then the connectors are, again, these two bar plates, black plate, two light gray brackets, two clip pieces. This bar piece, open stud, and then the tube. Got two of those on each side. Just so I can still have that tube look. I used a slope. I think you could use it rounded, like a disc right here, but I used a slope and a trans black piece right there. Because I think I saw the one time I saw somebody with an Exo-Toa, they'd replace the piece in the front with the transparent black one you got from the boxer. Yeah, so there you go. You got the actual Exo-Toa and everything. And I kind of like with this scale. It does make the it does make it look more imposing. Like you are looking at giants, like an actual giant mech. Because the original one was like, it was like around twice the size of a Bionicle, but it didn't kind of feel imposing. It did look cool. Now, the thing is with the shoulder armor, is that you can finagle it in there. Like, I've gotten it in there when I was testing it out. It's just, it doesn't really work as well. And, like, you could put a plate, but it won't look right. So, yeah, it's more like you gotta keep them loose, put them on, and then you press them down, and there you go. That was my cat. Bad James. So he will fit with the shoulder armor. It just doesn't look right. I say that I'm going to do this with my figure because you can't even take it. You got to loosen it out. So I'm going to do this with my figure when the time comes. If there's ever an arm that has the sleeves but they're black, I will replace them. I am going to replace the hand with an orange hand if I have it. Because the red part of the hand is supposed to be the sword. See, his hand isn't, it doesn't have the, it doesn't have that look. Only the sword is supposed to be red, not the hand, so I'm going to replace that. I might replace the flame too with that Ninjago flame piece. But yeah, that's the Exo-Toa. I made this in like a few hours, maybe like 2-3 hours. Since I went to the store today and got the figure, I was lucky there was an unopened box. I only got the one. I'm not a jerk. I got 2 of the Monster Hunters though, because I did take her parts, like her skirt piece for her trench coat, and I did get the Cybersaurus. I did like the battery. That's really why I got it. I wanted the battery piece and the trash monster. I'm the trash man. I eat garbage. That's my dad. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the Exo-Toa. I hope my description of how to build it is up to snuff for y'all. And so, because I really want you all to have your own Exo-Toas. That's why I do these things. Well, thank you all very much. I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.